Today, we open the championship finals of our experimental baseball tournament alongside stories about Bret Saberhagen's idea of a joke and why you're making far too big a deal out of your third-degree burns, how drugs make you make interesting decisions when you think the commissioner of baseball is going to break into your home, and much, much more. Oh, and we have a treat for all you Hamish fans out there. Hamish Hampton has returned to land the plane and will be doing the second game of this video, so it's gonna be a good one. What's that patient in the operating room going to do? Get up and leave? You've got 15 minutes. The Dugs have uploaded a new video. Welcome back to the Dugs. Everything we do here is an excuse to tell a lot of baseball stories and a lot of jokes, so if that sounds interesting to you, stay in the know and help us grow with a free subscription to our channel. It all comes down to this, and another 3 games at a minimum. Or 6 if it remains competitive. It all comes down to these games. Championship time. Both our squads have advanced out of the semis in 6 games. Not all things are equal, however. These 2 teams emerged from the same group of the group stage where Club Snub racked up the best record in the tournament at 5-1. The one, though, Club Snub lost their 6th and final game to these Tucson Tucsoons thanks to one of the several outstanding performances from Smokey Joe Wood. And guess who's back on the mound today? Light 'em if you've got 'em. It's time to once again smoke those Joes. Top of the 3rd and we're still scoreless. Smokey Joe's struck out 4 already, but Snub starter Tommy John is 3 himself and is looking very good in his own right. Until Freddie Sanchez lines this double to lead off the 3rd. A single from Kurt Flood puts runners at the corners, and Jackie Robinson's single brings home Jackie Robinson's 7th RBI of the postseason thus far. We're still at 1-0 in the 5th inning. Smokey Joe's smoking them again, which has made this trek to the 5th inning a relatively quick one. In fact, one of the highlights we won't be showing you is the fact that it took him all of 4 pitches to get out of the bottom of the 4th. But he's gonna need some run support to feel safe in this one. Never fear, Kurt Flood reaches base again with another single, and then, this is his 2nd stolen base of the day, and Bill Freehan chucks that one out into the outfield. How do I sugarcoat this? No one is as bad at anything as Bill Freehan has been bad at baseball this tournament. I think I stuck the landing there. He finished the group stage hitting a $150, and he's short of that mark at 143 in the playoffs thus far. Now Kurt Flood, owner of that stolen base, is doing quite a bit better. We've explored the reserve clause and Flood's role in eliminating it quite a bit this season, but we haven't really talked about the other side of the court case. The legal battle was Flood versus Kuhn, as in Bowie Kuhn, the 5th commissioner of baseball. Kuhn's an interesting character. He's not the one-dimensional movie villain you might expect. He found himself on the right side of many issues. He cracked down on illegal drug use and gambling in the league, much to the chagrin of last year's New Jersey Turnpike squad. To understand how feared Mr. Kuhn was in this regard, we need to look no further than the story of Darryl Porter. In a story that is most definitely sad and definitely not one that I chuckled at while reading, Don Newcomb, a former pitcher and current recovering alcoholic, visited the Royals clubhouse. With him, he brought a list of 10 questions, and if someone was to answer yes to 3 or more of them, they likely had an issue with drugs or alcohol. Our boy Porter said yes to all 10. During his drug use, he developed this paranoid delusion that Commish Kuhn was going to come to his house, find out about his drug use, and ban him for life from baseball activities. So, as one might do, he decided to stay up all night by his front door armed with a shotgun and a pair of billiard balls just in case the commissioner showed up. He stated that his plan was to throw the billiard balls at the commissioner should he decide to burst through the door looking for drugs. I guess the shotgun was just there for emotional support. Back to Commish Kuhn. He campaigned for moving the league towards night games, as the first one was held in 1971 during his tenure. In 1980, he gave all of the hostages involved in the Iranian hostage crisis lifetime passes to games, something you'd likely not see today. Or, I'd bet they do it today, but you'd just be restricted to going to out-of-market games. He was also a big supporter for getting Negro League legends inducted into the Hall of Fame. That said, he was also a vocal critic of Jim Bouton's book Ball 4, which brought baseball's culture of drug abuse, womanizing, and insensitive jokes to the forefront, which seems a little hypocritical given what we just talked about. Kuhn went as far as trying to force Bouton to sign a statement declaring the book was a work of fiction. He pushed and pushed to get the thing retracted, so naturally, the book has been republished many times over and was listed on Time's list of greatest 100 nonfiction books of all time. Not everyone loves the book. In fact, an opinion piece was just published railing against the book for sullying the reputation of a morally clean industry. We tried to reach out to the author for comment, but I think he was writing under a pseudonym because I couldn't find any other mention of Bever Trower anywhere else on the internet. Anyhow, Jackie Robinson singles to bring Curt Flood home, and now Jackie has 8 postseason RBIs. So, Dave Stieb comes in to pitch for the Snubs. Stieb's a cursed pitcher when it comes to no-hitters. Over the course of 5 years, he reached the 9th inning without allowing a hit on 4 separate occasions. 3 of those occasions included him making it to 2 outs in the 9th and a 0 in the H column. All 3 of those attempts failed to result in a no-hitter. But there's a happy ending to this. In September of 1990, he finally got his no-hitter, which still stands as the Blue Jays' one and only no-no in their history. Today's appearance will have a more tragic ending. Curt Flood gets hit by a pitch, and then Tony Conigliaro goes yard, and just like the marathon runner that left the route to bang the farmer's daughter and then was caught, this long ball goes for 2 runs. Well, getting it over the plate didn't work, so he's right back to dinging people as Jackie Robinson takes one for the team. He does manage to record 2 outs, but Nomar Garciaparra takes a 2-out walk, as does Dave Nielsen, and then Freddie Sanchez makes him pay with a single to give Tucson a 5-0 lead, and that'll be more than enough to grab the first win of the series. Jimmy Edmonds picks up a meaningless garbage time home run in the bottom of the 9th, but that is all. Smokey Joe Wood was stellar once again, as he might be the best performing pitcher in this tourney. Today he went 8 innings pitched, striking out 8, and not giving up any runs. Jackie Robinson's been through enough, but today he went through 2 additional hit by pitches as the Snubs couldn't retire him. When they weren't hitting him with the baseball, he went 2 for 2, racking up 2 RBIs. Tony Conigliaro connected for his 3rd home run of the postseason, and after that 2-run shot was hit, it did not feel like the Snubs were going to be able to overcome it. So let's turn to Game 2 to see if the Snubs can break even. Like we mentioned at the top of the video, Hamish Hamden has returned to us. He just showed up on my doorstep this morning with a story I don't believe in a second, but also lack the motivation to press him further on. Well, either way, it's great to have him back, so take it away, Hamish.
Yes, I'm Hamish Hamden and I'm back. Of course, I was not recruited by the CIA, that was just our little joke to write me out during the holidays. I did not go overseas to a top secret mission, and I will deny all suggestions to the contrary, and there certainly won't be any references to spies and espionage in today's video. After all, we're at a baseball diamond, and how could I crowbar in such references? Baseball diamonds are forever, after all. Tomorrow never dies, but Club Snubs' hope of a championship might, if they can't win today. Let's get to the game. It's Game 2 of our championship game, our sequel to the first match, our From Russia with Love, if you will. But Bill Darlin was nicknamed Bad Bill for his temper, and that swing is from New York with anger. We're picking things up in the bottom of the first, as Club Snub look to even the series, and that single sets them up nicely. They're facing Sandy Koufax, who retired at the age of 31, and legend says it was because of arthritis, but I have recently learned he actually joined an elite covert organisation where he had a second career as a bad-mouthed, hard-hitting spy of action and danger. One criminal overlord was heard saying, "I hate Sandy. He's coarse, rough and irritating, and he gets everywhere." Where he's gotten to here is a bit of trouble, as Jeff Kent has made it 2 men on for Jim Edmonds. A 1988 scouting report on Jim Edmonds, just before he was drafted, said he was an indulged child whose off-field habits must improve. Now, the man would go on to be married 4 times, so whether his off-field habits improved or not is up for debate, but his on-field achievements are considerable. He won 40 gold fingers, or 8 gold gloves during his career, and he lives and lets fly with this thunderball to deep, and he puts Club Snub up 3-0. He smacked the living daylights out of that one. But a quantum of solace for Tucson is that Koufax was able to get out of the inning without any more damage, so we head to the top of the second, and Tucson have a chance to respond immediately. Dave Nielsen is on base, Freddie Sanchez at the plate. Nielsen is from Australia, whose CIA and MI6 equivalent is called ASIS. For the first 20 years of its existence, ASIS was unknown to many within the Australian government, even those who paid their salaries. Similar to how, unbeknownst to many at the Mets, Bret Saberhagen is still on their payroll, and will be until 2029, despite leaving the Mets in 1995. Why am I bringing up Bret Saberhagen? Well, he's on the mound right now, giving up a double, and Tucson have cut the lead to 3-1. They're not done though. Club Snub couldn't do anything in the bottom of the second, so Tucson are back at it in the third, and once again there's a man on. This time it's Curt Flood on, and Thurman Munson at the plate. Saberhagen throws an outside hanging major side screwball, also known as an OHMSS. Munson connects, and despite it being a lovely day at City Field, there's a flood at the plate, and it's a one-run game. Snub up 3-2. Koufax has stepped up since that 3-run shot in the third, and we see that here in the fifth. This pitch is for Roland's eyes only, but he doesn't see it and he's out. Bill Freehan is fooled on this pitch and asks the ump if Koufax is allowed to do that. Yes, he has a license to, Bill. Finally, Saberhagen is up, but the man's not a hitter. They say you only live twice in baseball, one life as a hitter, one life as a pitcher. And with this strikeout, the sky falls on Saberhagen's time at the plate, but he's quickly back on the mound where he continues to have the lead and a golden eye on the strike zone. Saberhagen was known for his practical jokes, but as his best practical jokes were spraying bleach at reporters and throwing firecrackers at reporters, I wonder if he really just hated reporters. Perhaps the news of the world is not good enough for him. Whatever his reasons, he induces a double play off the bat of Jackie Robinson to end the seventh. Saberhagen only threw 5 pitches in the seventh, but there might be an issue with the man with the golden arm. The team doctor looks at it. Saberhagen, can I keep playing? Doctor, no. So he's out, and in comes Franco with a view to a killing of this game off, and he strikes out David Wright to end the inning. It's been a low-scoring game, no runs since the third. Franco's trying to keep it that way in the ninth, and he makes sure Casino Mar royally strikes out. Freddie Sanchez grounds out, so that means it's all on the shoulders of Mo Vaughn. The man nicknamed Hit Dog has a chance to tie the game, but the Hit Dog is more of an octopussy as he strikes out and the game is over. Snub win it 3-2, despite Koufax pitching a complete game for Tucson. He didn't give up anything after the third, but Edmonds' home run was enough to win this game and send the Snub fans home happy. The spectre of Game 1 has been vanquished for them. The series is now tied, so this is no time for either team's hopes to die. They will instead die another day, and we can look ahead to those matches now. Game 3 will see Club Snub's Bert Bylevin versus Tucson's Mark Fidrich. Game 4 sees David Cohn against J.R. Richard, and if necessary, Game 5 will see the Snub's Tommy John versus Tucson's Smokey Joe Wood. Stick around on the Doug Sports Network as we have an exclusive interview with Prince Harry, where he will reveal how his family would unfairly always hit him with blue shells at Mario Kart. Johnny Paprika will be back with Game 3 of his Titanic series soon, but until then, the Dougs are closed. Moonraker.